Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful and we're beautiful and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the Spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the least surprising news I've ever covered on this channel, but I do still think it's worth talking about, and it's worth the consideration that we're about to give it. So, apparently there have been some leaks for Rachel Zegler in Disney's Snow White. This has been an abomination from the start. This has been absolutely indefensible. There have been so many errors with this, both in the marketing and the presentation. It is shocking that they haven't just canceled it outright. And the reason that I say that is because when you have this many failures from the start, it's very, very, very difficult to recover. And even if the public perception is not correct, like for example, somebody leaks something and it's believable in the intro, and that's what people are talking about, it's still very hard to undo that. For example, this was one of the original promotional photos for Snow White. I say promotional photos. I don't mean it was officially released. I mean, it was leaked and it became the promotional photo by the internet about the show. Snow White and the 7 diverse people was the name of the caption. So you already go into this with a huge L, a huge handicap. So what do you do from there? Well, apparently you don't have Rachel Zegler under contract where you can control her and have her keep her stupid mouth shut. And so basically what you did was you allowed Rachel Zegler out there to make these off-the-cuff statements that were antagonistic towards not only the franchise and the company, but towards the audience that you really, really, really need to go see this movie. Now, you have made a series of colossal failures and mistakes over and over. And now we get to this, where this is talking about parts of upcoming Snow White trailer allegedly leak online show drastic change in narrative. Now, you may think, oh, is that positive? Did they change the narrative of what they were already setting out to do? Did they change the narrative of this? No. The narrative that they changed is that apparently in this trailer, it looks as though Maleficent has captured the prince and she's saving him. You heard that correctly. They thought that it would be a good idea to have Snow White be the one to save the prince. And by the way, don't think I don't notice it. I mean, this guy looks like he was taken from like Lord of War and like put like super. This looks like a fan edit, like as a joke. Look at this. But this is what we're dealing with. When you rule by committee, and you've got a bunch of yes men, and you've got a bunch of woke freaks all buzzing around and running around and talking about, well, we need to do this, and we need to do this. You get garbage like this. Because Snow White is the easiest thing in the world to do. You have to have a hot, likable chick as the main character. Somebody who's beautiful and nice. And that's the perception that person must, must present to the audience. They have to believe that this person is the fairest in the land, is somebody who is beautiful and kind. Nobody believes that about Rachel Zegler. She is continuously the most toxic, repulsive, idiotic, low IQ, low value piece of street trash that I've ever seen. And if you have that walking pile of garbage that is supposed to represent Snow White, no one's going to believe it from the get-go. And then you add to that, because, you can't just have one level of garbage. You have to layer onto that the woke messaging. Now, if you don't remember, there was an infamous clip of infamous clip of Snow White refusing to clean. There was she I let me see if I can't find
last summer.
Let me see if I can't find this clip here. Let me see if I can't find this clip. Oh, here it is. We're going to pull up Matt Walsh for a moment. All right?
See some of it.
Now you wash the dishes. You tidy up the room. You clean those cobwebs. And he'll use the broom. Me? Whistle while you... So
this bitch just gave away all the chores. So she's basically staying at this place for free and the dwarves are protecting her. And this entitled bitch, this absolute menace, just says, hey, you know what? Do your own cleaning while you protect me and give me a place to stay. It is the most off-putting, ridiculous, condescending, just out-of-touch, feminist, dog shit, brain-dead, entitled, typical Hollywood bullshit that I've ever seen. And it is par for the course of these freaks that think that they're special, that think that they have something different to offer, that they have some kind of new age messaging. They think, oh, we're the future. You're not. You are regressive. You are the past. You are what we have overcome, but you have reemerged. And so we've got to put you in the ground again, metaphorically speaking. Your ideas are absolutely atrocious. They're terrible. You are a horrible person, inside and out. You are somebody that is not to be trusted or taken seriously or to be considered in this new world that we want to create in this civil society. The reality is that you have continuously proven that not only are your ideas bad, but you have no manners, you have no class, you have no dignity, you have nothing. You have nothing. And you want to take it out on people who don't like the changes. You want to alienate them. There is not one person of sound mind and has any testosterone in their body that wants a scene where you have some beta male prince who could or could not be in the movie and then has to get saved by Snow White. No, they want a prince that's charming, that's strong, that's dashing, that's masculine, that can basically come in and save the day. That's what they want. They want a prince that's worth being a prince. And unfortunately, in modern politics, you've got a bunch of freaks that refuse to do that. And so no one is going to approve of this. No one is going to watch this. And the whole purpose of using Snow White is to get people in, but then you immediately push them out. It is the dumbest business formula I've ever seen. I don't get it. I don't get why you can't learn, because other people have. Other people have. Let me show you something, and this may be a little bit frightening for you. Oh my God, are you kidding me, Business Insider? Get out of here. Get out of here, you morons. I'm not paying you anything. This. You remember this? Do you remember this? What you see on the left was their first rendition of Sonic. That was the first offering. They came out with a trailer, and it looked like this, and it horrified everyone. And they said no. And there was just massive universal pushback. And people said, we don't want this. So do you know what they did? They didn't do what Disney's doing. They didn't do what Rachel Zegler's doing. They didn't call people bigots and racist and homophobes and homophones and, monophones and, monotone. They didn't call them all the ists and the phobes. They said, we hear you, and we're going back to work. And what you see on the right is what they came up with, which is so much better that it's hard to even imagine that the same studio made both of these. The horrifying creature on the left is what the studio came up with on its own. But when they listened to the feedback, when they listened to the audience, we got Sonic. And guess what? If they had stuck to their guns, if they said, we're going to do what's on the left, the movie would have flopped. Instead, they're on their third movie. Their third movie. And guess what? Every time one of these movies comes out, it's successful. Because people remember the studio that listened to them, and it's Jim Carrey, and it's, all these different great voice actors, and they do a good job. And Idris Elba as Knuckles, I think, wasn't he the one who played Knuckles? And now apparently they're coming out with Shadow being played by Keanu Reeves. Like, this studio learned its lesson. And that is what Disney needs to do. If you think that there is a single solitary person that's going to be impressed by your woke dog whistling, your sexist, low IQ, low value, degenerate dog shit view of the world, which is men have to be subservient to women, if you think anyone's going to buy this or give into this, you're insane. You are literally insane, and you are intentionally, I have to believe intentionally, driving this company into the ground. Because I cannot believe that any person with a functioning brain can't figure out that nobody of sound mind and conscience and an ounce of testosterone wants to watch a beta male prince be rescued by Snow White. Snow White is the damsel. She is the princess. She is the one to be saved. The man should take on that role and be masculine. So, if you follow through with this is going to be devastating, because this is one of your core movies. This is one of the first movies that put Disney on the map. And if you allow your IP to be disrespected to this degree by you, no one's going to have any faith in anything that you do ever again. Imagine Nintendo doing something like this. Like, you may not like the Mario movie. You may think that it's bad. But it is faithful and true to Mario. There was no point in that movie where I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a disrespect to Mario. No, everything felt like Mario. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's depressing how retarded these people are. They don't learn. They don't get with the program. They don't figure things out. Even after being told. And they have access to all of these videos. My video, Geeks and Gamers, The Quartering, all of these. So, Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic. There's so many different channels that have talked about this. Asmongold, Moist Critical even. So many people have talked about this, and they still refuse to listen, and they just don't get it. Making money and making these franchises good and reflect well on your brand is so easy that it blows my mind that they manage to fuck it up every single time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.